scientist?
Presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winners, Bo. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show. For now, welcome back. It's been about a month since we saw y'all, or since you saw us. I can't see you. I can see Scotty Stacks here, Mr. Nimble with Numbers himself. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the whole damn channel, and then jingle that bell, because when we do go live, sporadically, infrequently, some would say seldom, it's going to be worth it because we're fantastic. We are winning people money. Scotty Stacks and I are in a battle for the ages in the Clash of the Beards and Bellies. I can't believe how back and forth we are. We're both putting out crazy lineups every week. Scotty Stacks, do you think you got a leg up on me? You got a month off of seeing this pretty mug right here from NorCal. How's life on the Beltway?
You know, I'm not going to complain completely about my life on the Beltway because I'm surviving. But I have missed you a bunch. It's been a bunch of different things. Christmas has come up last week. We got our tree. We had to trim it. We had to put the lights on. We had a family event, the family fight.
Tannenbaum.
Exactly. And so a couple weeks before that, we had a Love and Care event down in Virginia, which was a nice place to go for a hotel and hang out and get to meet with people who've gone through the same type of experience. My wife and I have gone through my battle. My daughter has battled leukemia, and so just deep things. Waters I didn't necessarily think I was going to tread. I wanted to talk DFS, but hey, I treaded them. I was better for them. I built community. I'm excited to grow and bond and make my wife happy.
I heard a rumor that you cross-checked Alexander Ovechkin into the boards and cracked the glass.
I broke his knee. I'm the guy, actually. I microfractured his knee previously in the skate with the cancer kids. And no, here's a cool story about that. I was down there with my daughter. She was invited down to a Capitals practice, and they had a bunch of different kids who were down there with the Caps who had either been in treatment, going through treatment at different stages of their journey through, childhood cancer, which is terrible. But Ovechkin was there. I was not bothering him. I was with Nick Dowd, who's the Caps assistant right now while Ovi's out. Scored a goal last night and had an assist. Shout out Nick Dowd. He was hanging out with London, and I was just enjoying being with him and kind of hanging out and watching all these kids just love on these hockey players, and the hockey players love on the kids. And then he said, "Hey, you want to meet Ovechkin? You want to get an autograph?" I said, "I would, but I want to make sure all these other kids." He said, "No, we're going in the locker room. Let's go in. Let's meet the big man." So we come in, and he goes, "Hey, big man, come on over here." And Ovechkin just rolls over. I got to shake Ovechkin's hand. I got to sit in his locker, talk to him for a sec. Like, one of the coolest things ever. He signed several jerseys. London's mine, and just special times for the Caps. Good organization. Ted Leonsis knows how to do it. The Lidos, sponsorship.
In Mother Russia, handshakes you.
Dude, that guy's hand, he got hurt like the next day. I was like, the bad juju. I feel so bad.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised, Scott. I mean, it's Ovechkin, obviously one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Hashtag all caps. Shout out to the Caps for doing that sort of thing, bringing the community together. The outreach to kids with cancer is awful. It's one of the worst things in society, and to be able to find a silver lining, even just a sliver of one, with the families and the kids themselves especially, that's fantastic. That's magical. Touches my heart. It warms my little Grinch heart up so much. I love it. I love it, Scott.
Thank you, sir.
Week 14, last week of the fantasy regular season. Ooh. If you're dead already, that's why you're here. DFS is instant gratification. We're Pavlov ringing the bell right now. Give me the fix. I need my DFS. I need my money now, Holmes.
If you're talking right now, you could win a couple $1,000s tomorrow morning.
Boom.
Yeah, make
Boom.
all up your fantasy losings this year in a fell swoop.
Especially for all you zero RB drafters that finally have a relevant lineup this week when you're 2-10 now.
Right. Hey,
2-11.
Derrick Henry to the moon. If you went Saquon, Derrick Henry, round 1, round 2.
Derrick Henry is from the moon.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? There's no Derrick Henry for us, sadly.
Oh well.
Yeah, but that's fine. We're okay. We can.
It would be really nice to be able to use Lamar Jackson this week in some of the leagues because I have so many Lamar Jackson shares, especially in redraft, and I really need him. And I'm starting all kinds of weird offshoot quarterbacks to replace him, and it's not good money ball. It's not like replacing Jason Giambi out there.
Right. No, you're not a meme with Brad Pitt in it, and
No.
big fat.
My
guy.
quarterback's defect is that he's not Lamar Jackson.
Right. Well, several of my teams did have Derrick the King Henry on them. One of them is vying for most points in my home league, which I've never ever won in the 20+ years we've been playing.
Some good money
football.
too, the way you structure it, isn't it?
It's $500 right? So I am 40 points up. I had Goff go. Thank you for the shout out. Kyler Murray, I'm against Seattle. Seattle's defense is pretty strong. They've been showing up lately. And then Kyler, man, he's not gotten downfield enough with Harrison. They just have not clicked yet. And even in that Minnesota game, which was right for the picking, they could not.
He somehow can't find the best tight end in the league right now, Trey McBride.
What are we doing?
All this volume and 0 receiving touchdowns. He has a fumble recovery touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
73 catches. Can't get a freaking touchdown. Sorry to the kids, Danny Carter's kids, particularly who listen to the show religiously. Shout out, guys.
Denny's kids are cussing more than all of us combined.
I've learned skibbity toilet from Denny's kids. Don't let them tell you.
I read Denny's article, which is phenomenal. If you're on Blue Sky, make sure you shout out
forever.
Denny Carter, Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Eye Blue Sky, Denny Carter, every white man. Big shout out to CD Cornelius Dennis Carter, the fourth Esquire.
Yes. No. Well, here's the cool part about all of these experiences that we have on this little tiny blue planet that's called the Earth for now, is that we get to pick new lineups, like you said, every single week. And what we do here on the show, and we're going to pop them in now. Oh, there we go. We run the Sims, and what the Sims are is they're an optimizer tool that has us breaking down kind of where the ownership is, where the rostership is, also kind of what the best plays are and how you're going to build your lineups. We'll talk about some of the stacks we're going to build, and then we'll build some stacks. And so we're going to go through all the games. I
believe that belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
I'm going to try one more time to see if the mains are no, they're still being weird. That's fine. Okay. We do have the Sunday night and the Monday in here as well. We're going to just, excommunicate them. They're not part of the show. But the Sims are kind of being a little touchy-feely today. So we're going to give them their space. But we're still going to be able to go through all these games. We'll start in New Orleans with New Orleans at the Giants here, +5.
That's at MetLife. MetLife.
I'm thinking a total washout. New Orleans wins by +10. Am I wrong? What is your take on this game? How are you approaching this build, and what's your thoughts on kind of how this New York Giants team falls apart at the end of the season?
I don't think either team is as good or as bad as their record is. The Saints, with their card back, are okay. They're not good. Their run defense is atrocious. I think this is a Tyrone Tracy game, to be honest. And I think it's a low-scoring game where it's under the total. You get like a 38 total. But I think Tyrone Tracy against this very, very bad New Orleans Saints run defense, that's where I'm looking. Malik Neighbors is very questionable. I think he's probably going to be out. So it's going to be Darius Slayton as the top receiver for Drew Lock. That's gross. I mean, the Giants offense beside Tyrone Tracy is disgusting. Their offensive line has been bad all year. Their quarterback play has been so bad. The Saints probably win this game, but I think they keep it close. The Giants keep it close with the running game. Tyrone Tracy is a dog.
What do you think about
this game's gross?
Yeah, Alvin Kamara at 8K. He's picking up a bunch of rostership. This is a little skewed. I've seen him as much as I think 30% rostered. Upwards of that. How are you approaching Alvin Kamara at 8K? He's one of the top 3 running backs. Saquon's 9K. He's 8K. Devin Etchen is up there as well, and kind of these super backs who can get the PPR yards and just kind of also break one at any time.
That's the kind of the theme of this slate is you can spend up at running back. Nobody's going to tell you not to play Alvin Kamara in a bunch of lineups. I will not be part of that saying, hey, don't be playing too much Kamara because he's what 25-30% rostered.
Right,
Who cares?
right.
He's
Yep.
Alvin Kamara. He's going against the New York Giants defense that's pretty bad. But I think that you measure your exposure to Kamara because there are quite a few value running backs on this slate. So you can get creative with which running backs you roster and where, and depending on the contest size and how many entries you get in that tournament. Alvin Kamara is a great pick. I just think that he's a little expensive, especially if you're in a single entry or 3 max tournament. You might be overexposed pretty easily to a guy that's really expensive, and you don't have to spend that much money on a running back this week because of how many guys are on the slate with value.
Yeah, and if you look at the overall picture at running back, we can peel back a little bit and see, where some of the leverages. Even Saquon even at 9K is going to come in as one of the highest rostered. Isaac Guerriendo, Kamara, and Zach Charbonnet at 4,800. I mean, is he a plug and play at this point at that low price, getting the touches, the volume in this game where you think they're even though they're a favorite? They're not a favorite. They're an underdog. To me, they're a favorite. Like that's +3.
Yeah.
What? I thought when I put the line on my board today, I got. By the way, if you shout out me, if you can't see, this way. Yeah, okay, there you go. This is my board. I've got every game for every week for the whole NFL season. I put the DraftKings line up here, and I can look at every time. Just look at whenever time I look. Oh, there it is. +3 for Seattle. Smash. So, are you smashing Zach or no? I mean, it's kind of early, but this is the overall rankings. I kind of jumped.
Yeah,
but
4,800 for any running back that's going to get the type of volume that he is going to get. That's pretty awesome. That's what we're looking for, especially in a cash or single entry tournament.
Oh, for sure.
That's an auto pick. You're still running into a lot of chalk, but at running back, it doesn't matter as much. You can plug your running backs, your favorite running backs. Sometimes I'll find that I'm only playing 4 or 5 different running backs on a single slate. This one, I think I'll have 6 or 7 in the player pool, and I'll just kind of balance it how I see fit based on the contest I'm selecting. Charbonnet and Kamara are both on there. So is Isaac Guerriendo and Saquon. But this slate is tricky because there's only 10 games on it. And if you get overexposed at wide receiver and quarterback, you're going to be fighting against a whole slew of chalk. And so I'm okay with the running back chalk, but we're going to have to block some serious chalk when we stack.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I was listening to Lord Reeves on his podcast this week, and he was talking about
Rich Rebar.
Love Rich. He was talking about how a lot of friends were going to have one expensive running back and then a pay down, and that kind of led to then a couple pay downs at wide receiver, so you could pay up at tight end, right? Because you got some good tight ends, Kittle, you got Brock Bowers, of course, and then McBride. So kind of understanding how these builds were going to happen. I love the Zach Charbonnet situation because you could go pay down at
That's
running
what I'm
back.
doing a lot.
Yeah, and then you could go pay up at wide receiver at some other places to differentiate yourself to get some leverage on the field. So we'll get into that more. I just want to kind of set the stage for that because I thought it was a really good conversation he was having. And then if we could continue that conversation here on this show and maybe give you some points to kind of build that dueling banjo low cost running back situation. So okay, anyway, let's talk about this next. Would you stack anybody in this game? By the way, we did not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, this is a one-offer for me. I mean, Marquez Valdez-Scantling has had some target over the last couple of weeks. If you want to throw a Hail Mary in your 4-6, and that's kind of where you're at, he's salvageable. He's in there. He's got some touchdowns, but
Yeah, that's all he has. That's all he has.
Yeah, boom or bust. Right. He finally can catch the football now
his
that
whole
Mahomes
career
is
is
throwing it to
boom or
him.
bust. Or Rodgers. He
The
just
two
needs
best
a
quarterbacks
non-Hall
in NFL
of
history. He can't catch from those guys, but Derek Carr's
he
ball.
needs a non-Hall of Fame quarterback to finally find his worth.
He needs a jobber.
At the same time, he's no Nick Westbrook-Akine. Like, he's not on that level.
No, not at all. All right, let's get into this next game, which I'm intrigued by because as I've looked at this game, Cleveland likes to play some man defense. No one likes to play man anymore. No one's playing over 50% man coverage. 40%, you're looking like, oh, that's sexy, right? And they do. They like to play a little bit of man coverage. And George Pickens, oh man, if you're playing man coverage against George Pickens, that's a bad day's night.
It's not a good time.
No.
Well, until this year, it was the way to beat him because he couldn't get separation. But most improved player this year he's up there. George Pickens is up there for most improved player in the NFL. He has made leaps and bounds across the board, and maybe other than his attitude,
I mean,
dude is
jerk,
a live wire.
Right. I mean, who's not these days?
Oh no, I love that because on the field, that's a competitive edge. That's like we want an
Taking
unpredictable psychopath on our football team. Yeah.
You want
Good.
that badass
That's
motherfucker
football.
who's just going to go to
That's
war,
football.
fight a guy in the stands at the end of the game. That's what you want to be doing.
Because there's nobody on the Browns defense that can match that intensity. They might yap back at him, but they're not gonna be doing suplexes on him like he is sometimes like off the ball.
I mean, here's the thing. They have something to play for as well. Like, I love Jameis, by the way. Shout out Jameis. Picked him up in fantasy. Might play him in a couple weeks. We'll see, right? But the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to make the playoffs. They can win their division. Like, they're badass. They got a great defense. Russell Wilson, shout out, lost some weight, stopped eating fucking Subway, got his shit together, back with Jesus, whatever it was. He's playing good. He throws the most catchable ball. And George Pickens, by himself, one-on-one, could have a day. So here's the question. Jerry Jeudy, he went from 20th in receiving yards to 5th in a heartbeat, right? Just So
big game.
Yeah, 5,700. They didn't pay attention. I know he's 10%, 11%. That's not a lot in wide receiver. Maybe even 15%. How are you approaching Jerry Jeudy? Pittsburgh has a pretty good coverage. Now, if he's not shadowed, and by the way, Jeudy does not run out of the X. He runs out of the Y. He runs out of the slot. He gets in motion. He's not a stagnant Stillman, or whatever. So, and Stillman's not even in the game. So, Judy's going to be everywhere. He's not going to be Joey Porter the whole game. Are you going to do a little backdoor Jerry Jeudy? What do you think about him?
No, because I am a staunch opponent of chasing points, and Jerry Jeudy will have a solid game. I just don't think he'll have the type of game that'll make you happy that you spent money on a game that's probably going to be under. Both of these defenses are quality. Like Cleveland's run defense concerns me against Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. Russell Wilson, George Pickens, Freiermuth has been heating up. Calvin Austin's a big play splash guy that I'm interested in. Jerry Jeudy is going to get, I think, even a little bit more than 11%, and I think I'll fade that. I think we can afford to fade that on this slate because, like we said, we're taking values at running back, we're taking values at quarterback, and you don't need to go and drop a mid price on a guy who went completely nuclear last week, but that's last week. That isn't this week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are pretty damn good at getting after the quarterback. That was what Denver couldn't do last week, was get after Jameis Winston, and he just pieced him up. They're both good defenses, but Pittsburgh is going to heat Winston up, and Jerry Jeudy probably scores you 10 to 15 points. That's not going to do it for us.
And you know what? You got Elijah Moore there also at $900 less, and
David Njoku. David Njoku,
5,100 for him too.
Lost in all that Jerry Jeudy amazing play last week was David Njoku scored twice, and Pittsburgh not quite as good against tight ends as they are against wide receivers.
I'm gonna stack attack it. And I'm going to do a Pickens. I'm going to do Pickens with a Njoku. And then I'm also going to do a Pickens with an Elijah Moore. I'll do 1% Jerry Jeudy just to see if it pops. That's the tip.
It's not on here, but I am going to do a Najee and Pittsburgh Steelers stack, because Jameis Winston is the gift that keeps on giving for fantasy DSTs. Even though he scored 30 burger on the Broncos last week, he threw 2 pick sixes. So we still got there with Denver's defense in the primetime slate.
My thing's not unmuting. There we go. I had Jerry Jeudy and I had the Broncos defense. You didn't think you could score 60 points. You could. You could score 60, and I did.
Oh, yeah.
So it was.
Oh, yeah.
Dead
That was a great stack. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
No. So yeah, Pittsburgh. I think they are 7% rostered. You know, a little bit high. Cleveland's also rostered at 2,400. But that seems like they're gonna. I think Pittsburgh wins this game. So that's I'm out. I'm out on that.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that game's kind of good. It's a good division game if you like the AFC North. This next game is intriguing, though.
Yeah, I think the spread's a little off. I think that Carolina will be in the game a little bit more. We'll see how this game goes. What do you think about this game?
Yes.
How you playing it?
I'm gonna take Carolina to cover. I'll take the over. Carolina can't stop the run, so Saquon Barkley's obviously in play here. You'd have to be crazy to not play him. I'm not going to go out there and play Bryce Young, but I will play some of his weapons. This Eagles defense is good, so I think it'll be kind of a medium scoring affair. But I do think that maybe the Eagles beat him by 10, but not 14. That's a big spread for NFL football. And the Panthers just took the defending champs to overtime 2 weeks ago.
I mean, that's
the Chiefs
important. They're good. They're
the Chiefs and Eagles are both really good teams. Yeah, they got some guy named Kelsey too, and a great defense. And Bryce Young pieced up a Steve Spagnuolo defense. That's impressive. That's super impressive. The Eagles are a good defense too, but they're not the Chiefs.
In the least.
Devontae Smith is back though.
Yeah,
Devontae Smith
is. I'm excited.
back.
I like him. He's good.
And he's cheap, and he's not very rostered. Cheap Devontae Smith is so sexy. Oh my God, 5,800 for Devon. Slim Reaper for 5,800. Oh God, that feels good. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
And stack it up.
Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. It's a beauty.
You running it back with anybody? You in the run back business?
So here's the thing. I think you might see a couple really big plays from Xavier Legette. He's a stud. David Moore's. I don't get the David Moore thing.
Not at all. I mean, he had one game where he got a lot of targets. It happens. Adam Thielen's back as
nobody else was there.
So, yeah.
Thielen's back. Thielen's a good one at 5,300. Legette at 49 is a lot of upside there.
Yeah, I do like that low price. I did AJ Brown and Legette. I should have done the other one. Hold on, Devonta Smith. Here we go.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna shame you for playing AJ Brown ever.
Shame
AJ
anybody.
Brown's good at
I'm
football.
not
He's really good at football.
You know,
especially not for a guy that like AJ Brown's
right.
stud.
What do you think about like
this Panthers defense is so bad?
Yeah. What do you think about like Grant
Calcaterra?
3,500. He's filling in for Dallas Goedert. Not rostered.
Dallas Goedert. Yeah, I'll take a stab at Grant Calcaterra.
A little sliver.
I'll also take a stab at Tommy Tremble. 3,000 flat.
He's in there too. Yeah, I like them both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any
not a lot of
defenses?
upside for either one.
Anything else?
No.
Yeah. Okay, a game that maybe shouldn't
That
be
can't.
played.
I mean, I don't know. I liked this game though. I like this game. Yes, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And Will Levis has the upside of all. Have you seen the finishing schedule the Titans have this year for fantasy? Like, if you just stream Will Levis throughout the rest of the season, it's going to be like 2019 Josh Allen when he had like Robert Foster and a bunch of no-name receivers, and he was a rookie. And I like literally plugged this rookie from Wyoming into my lineups, and he rode me to a title. Like, I had Drew Brees sitting on the bench, and I still won with a very unpolished Josh Allen. This reminds me of that finishing stretch of the season. The Titans have a super duper easy schedule against very bad defenses all the way through the rest of the season. Will Levis, not good. He's not a good football player, but he's got a little Jameis Winston in him. He's got some flair. He's not very smart. He makes horrible decisions on the regular, but he's exciting and he's provocative and he makes big plays and he scores fantasy points from time to time. This is the smash spot for Will Levis. 5,000 flat, stacking him with Calvin Ridley, with Tony Pollard, with Tajay Spears, with pretty much anybody you want. Nick Westbrook-Akine. All the guy does is score touchdowns. He had 8 targets last week, which was a little nice wrinkle to his one and done status for this year, which he scored, I think, in 5 of the last 6 games. Nick Westbrook-Akine with 8 targets last week. That piqued my interest. I really am interested in playing some of these Titans pass catchers in cheap stacks with Will Levis. What is wrong with me? Will Levis is awful.
Nothing's wrong with you.
But he's not awful for DFS this week.
Listen, I even tried to bring him up on the Fantasy Millionaires on Monday to Michael as a possible streamer if you were in dire straits, because you just have that wild. I said
even if you're in dire straits.
Well, here's the thing: 6 teams are on bye, right? And so you might need to pick up somebody like you said earlier.
We're here to fucking win. We are here to fucking win. It doesn't matter what the dude's name is. If he's got a super duper easy matchup, that is your responsibility to plug in a guy who has a lot of upside against a very easy opponent. That is your responsibility as a fantasy manager.
I told Mike Cash Collins, right, as he kind of laughed me out of starting Will Levis, right? I told him I think it's going to be kind of like, back in the day, Blake Bortles, if you remember him. He just was chucking and fucking, drinking and burping and farting and doing this. Back
when, Blake Bortles is a fourth quarter dynamo, the garbage time extraordinaire with him and Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he's got Nick Westbrook-Akine and he's got Calvin Ridley.
2015 Bortles to A-Rob fed families.
People are named A-Rod right now because of that. You know what I mean? People have, they got A-Rob on their backs because of that. Kids running around.
I had a bearded dragon. I had a bearded dragon lizard named Allen Robinson.
We got to build a stack out of this for sure, because this game, like you said, could go a little higher than the 40-point total. So let's put Will Levis in. Yes. Let's put a couple wide receivers in. Are we bringing it back with like Parker Washington or anybody on this other side who Brian Thomas Jr.? We like him. I mean, we played him before. Either one of these guys you want to put in the lineup?
Quick answer: yes. Evan Ingram. Is Evan Ingram playing?
I mean, either he plays or he does not. Those are the stats. Let's see.
That's the duality, man.
Well, we're gonna put him in. We're gonna put him in. Right now, he is questionable.
4,800 tight end. Yeah, it's iffy. Yeah. But if he is playing, absolutely run it back with Evan Ingram.
Yes, we're putting him in a little bit of both. He'll be in. Okay.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
All right. Bo, we like to share what we think. I think Minnesota is going to absolutely destroy Atlanta. I think Kirk Cousins is immobile in the pocket. I think he can't do play action. I think he is kind of toast. I think Minnesota is going to have a big can of ass for him. What do you think?
Did you read what I said about him?
No, I can't.
I think that because this is
I'm blind.
This is a revenge game.
Right.
Hey, so this is a revenge game, and everybody throws that around. But this is a revenge game for the Vikings against their former quarterback, not for the other way
$84
around.
million they gave that guy.
Yeah, yeah, and he took another 100 mil from Atlanta. Here's what's going to happen: is this Minnesota defense is going to get after Kirk Cousins so bad that he's going to get benched in his homecoming. And guess what? The Falcons are going to do? They're going to insert the Penix.
My Penix is swelling. I just want
to. And not just the tip, not just the tip. Michael Penix is being inserted in this game, and he's going to be the reason why Atlanta covers the spread, because Kirk Cousins' last 3 games, some of the worst football we've ever seen from anybody ever. He's that bad.
When he
Kirk Cousins is
that pick six,
garbage.
Right? He threw that pick six.
He should have had 7 interceptions last week. He should have had 7 interceptions. He's fumbling all the time. He's not throwing to anybody besides Darnell Mooney, which we love Mooney, but you got Drake London, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Ray McLeod, you got all these guys you can throw it to, and Kirk Cousins is noodle arming it, throwing clay pigeons out there to nobody in particular. Usually it's the other damn team. And with how much Brian Flores blitzes, the Falcons have none chance to score points with Kirk Cousins back there. The dude needs to retire. He looks like he's washed.
It's
and
bad.
It's not hyperbole. It's just based on what I've seen last 3 games is Kirk Cousins needs to cash in the Coles coins and go back to wearing plaid on Sundays, because he ain't it. Michael Penix cannot be worse. By definition, cannot be worse than Kirk Cousins has been of late, and pretty much most of the season. Minnesota is going to boat race Atlanta if they don't bench Kirk Cousins.
I love that we're simpatico. It's called Retirement Bay, Salt Bay. Yeah. You know,
insert Penix,
Assassin Bay, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, yeah, insert Penix. All right. In this game, Justin Jefferson, my guy, I picked him this year over.
He's good.
He's good.
Have you seen that guy play football? He's
good.
Pretty damn good.
The problem is too is that Atlanta gives it up to the wide receiver one on teams. They like to give it up. They like to just be a sieve for the wide receiver one. Particularly, they don't blanket the wide receiver one. They don't like push everything over to Jordan Addison, who has done really well. 5,300. You could, if you want to get away from the chalk and just kind of like chalk the block, you could do that for sure. Not saying don't do it. We'll play both of them. But man, Justin Jefferson, 7,800. I feel like this is the game where he goes for 125, a touchdown, maybe 2, get you 30 points. What do you think about that? Am I just overstepping my bounds here? Am I wild? 4 weeks off? Am I delusional?
Most corners or most wide receivers, most human wide receivers would have trouble with AJ Terrell. He's a solid football player. Justin Jefferson is not one of those wide receivers, and AJ Terrell is trembling in preparation for Justin Jefferson. However, I believe the best value on this entire slate, period, regardless of position, is Jordan Addison. This is one of the most underrated playmakers in the entire league, and he is the sole reason that Kenny Pickett became a first-round pick. The only reason Kenny Pickett was even remotely considered a first day or two
pick. Who was that guy? Kenny Pickett? I don't even remember that guy. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
He had tiny little hands.
Like a baby.
Like a baby. Yeah, so the reason, if you ever wonder why the Steelers were stupid enough to draft Kenny Pickett in the first round, you can thank Jordan Addison, because that's why.
Yeah, yeah. Just like his DUI attorney thanks him, you can thank him too. Sorry,
I couldn't have a grip on the wheel because my hands are so tiny.
Listen, sir, can you drive with hands like this?
I needed both of them to shift gears.
Game that you're looking at, like for example, Ray McLeod, 4,500. I found myself meandering to him at one point. It was between him and MBS. I flipped a coin. I cried.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, if anything, I'm probably gonna go with Atlanta's really good in the middle of the field because of Jesse Bates. However, TJ Hawkinson, he's warming up. He's warming up. He's returning to form after his return to play. 4.6%, 4,300. I like Kyle Pitts' upside in a tournament play. I'm not going to throw anything on him on cash because, I mean, he's been targeted, twice in the last 2 games combined. Not great, Bob.
Right,
But he's still
great.
got the crazy upside. He's got crazy upside every week. We just never know when it's going to happen. It's like a lightning strike. TJ Hawkinson, much more consistent and much safer play for any kind of event here. 4,300 for TJ Hawkinson is a steal, especially when really nobody's playing him.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this Kyle Pitts situation last week, catching the bullet. It's like the ghost of Christmas present, past, and future, but it's all the same ghost. You know what I mean? Like, it's all the same thing. You're just like, what the fuck? Is it the same shit again? And it's not. It's Arthur Smith just laughing and laughing. And I just see when Kyle Pitts catches a 0 in a game, and I can see Arthur Smith driving down the street in the same way, in his motorcycle, the same way that Jim Carrey does in Dumb and Dumber.
I think what happened. Well, I think what happened was there's nothing against Arthur Smith. Obviously, a dreadful head coach, a very good offensive coordinator. We had too high of hopes for Zach Robinson in his first real play calling gig. And Zach Robinson's been among the worst play callers in the NFL in his first year as offensive coordinator. We thought, oh, this guy's coming from the McVay system. He's gonna load it up. I mean, look how much money you want on stupid, terrible Tyler Higbee, who can't even play football. One of the worst football players I've ever watched at the professional level in my entire life. Tyler Higbee has won you thousands and thousands of dollars because of the McVay system, just peppering stupid little underneath leak routes, just literally just play action leak routes to the stupid tight end, and just
flood routes.
Yak out the wazoo, and you got this 4.4 running 6'6" gazelle, and you don't run the leak routes to him.
It's criminal.
Make it make sense.
It's a criminal.
Zach
I want to
Robinson.
bring a lawsuit. Have you been harmed by offensive
Zach
coordinators
Robinson,
who suck
pull your
ass?
head out of your ass and treat Kyle Pitts like he's Tyler fucking Higbee.
Get your shit together. Come on.
Because Kirk Cousins, guess what? He's not throwing it more than 10 yards down the field with any sort of accuracy. It reminds me of Matthew Stafford when he had the elbow surgery. Remember how limited he was at throwing the ball down the field for 1 year or maybe a half a year? And that was why he just kept dumping it off to Higbee?
Here's the thing. Maybe Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins getting your Achilles torn and trying to come back the next season when you're old isn't good.
It's not good for you to tear your Achilles.
Hey, at least Kirk Cousins didn't make a Netflix special about it, so that's good.
Hey, you know how much I love Aaron Rodgers, so
yeah,
I will be tuning. I'll be tuning.
You and Mike Collins both. Like I've had it like up to here with that guy. Like he redeemed himself a little bit last week when he threw a block.
So awesome. He's so awesome.
Hey, listen, he is, but you've seen the last couple of years. It's like your dad getting 40, drunk and getting beat up by another dad. You're like, God, not again, not again.
It's rough. Well, it's like watching Tyson fight Jake Paul. You're like, oh, okay, he's just old.
Yeah, I mean, watching
my childhood vision of this person is not the same thing as what I'm watching now.
Listen, I don't know how much Aaron Rodgers weighs. I don't know all these things. I myself am shorter, and I probably weigh less. I weigh 185, and so, but I'm watching him take the hits, and I'm like, bro.
He's never been he's tall, but he's never been bulky.
I could take those hits way better than you. Like, every time you take a hit, you look like you're going to die. Like, I'm 5 years older than you, and yes, I have not been hit that much, and whatever. But you hadn't been hit that much either until this last couple of years.
And your Achilles are intact.
Right. And I got both of them. You look like you're like 60 years old to me, and you're 5 years
like that Kansas Jayhawks guy running at the spring game.
Yeah. Terrible. We've been going on. Let's talk about a game. Clear my throat here because I kind of like this game a little bit. It's got kind of a high number, 46. It's the third highest guy on the total. But what do you think about this? What is going on with this game? It's people don't give a shit anymore. They're just gonna kind of play. And you got Baker. You could stack Baker with Mike Evans. You could go Jacoby Myers as a run back. You could double stack with Kate Otten. What do you think about this game?
Here's your value pick of the week. We're going back to Sean Tucker. Because I think Bucky Irving ultimately either plays very little or not at all. And that means Sean Tucker's season is upon us again. Remember when he won me a bunch of money a few weeks ago? Yeah.
Do you remember that?
He's not I don't think he's as good as either Rachaad White or Bucky Irving. But if you give him a role against a terrible Raiders defense, he's going to do work. Sincere McCormick at 4,600. Outstanding play here. Abdullah's terrible. He's older than dust. Alexander
His foot's hurt,
Madison,
right, too. He's got a little bit of foot injury. He was limited in practice earlier this week as well.
Right, yeah. He's not good anyway. So Madison's back apparently, but he's terrible. He's always been terrible. So I'm going to play.
Still terrible.
I'm going to sprinkle in both Sean Tucker and Sincere McCormick because they're cheap.
Value stack.
Right. And Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. And I'm of course, playing my native son, the freak of nature from the other side of the moon from Derrick Henry, Brock Bowers. They're from the same crazy alien genes, apparently. It blows my mind how much disrespect Brock Bowers got before the season started by just simply being drafted by the Raiders. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick. The Raiders lucked into him at number 13. This is one of the best freaks that we've ever seen at any position, especially size adjusted. He's bigger than he looks. He's strong, and this dude runs like the wind. Great hands, incredible route runner. Brock Bowers is not human. And so if you're not playing Brock Bowers this week, you suck. You suck at fantasy if you're not playing Brock Bowers. How long have I've been talking about Brock Bowers since he was a freshman at Georgia.
Yeah.
And before I was even on Twitter doing fantasy stuff, I was talking about this kid from Napa High School in 2019 before the COVID lockdowns, scoring 18 touchdowns in 11 games.
He's got
in high school. He's a freak. He's unbelievable. I still can't even believe that he's as underappreciated as he is. This dude leads the NFL in receptions as a rookie tight end. That doesn't make sense. We've never seen this before. So yeah, Brock Bowers to the moon and beyond. He's going to Io, the moon on Jupiter. He's going to Io.
Problem is, in these stacks, I cannot get your boy in here. I cannot get Tucker in here. It's Bucky Irving, Rachaad White, Bucky Irving, Rachaad White. I cannot get him in here. So we cannot build a stack, but you can still build a stack manually.
You don't have to stack it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
It's a cute little tournament home run play.
This is the one, right here.
Oh my God! Yeah.
The Brock Bowers, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield run back. And listen, I like Jacoby Myers too. Like, this is a target funnel situation here.
Ooh.
Just these people right here.
Yeah, he's questionable.
If he plays, you got
Jacoby plays absolutely.
Yeah, I mean 5,600. He is their wide receiver one. That's just a great thing. And O'Connell is just going to both these guys. And O'Connell too he sucks ass, right? If you think about him, but no, he doesn't. He went up against the Chiefs last week. Played great. Played really well for him. So, don't discount. I think we
another Will Levis type candidate.
Yeah, exactly. Just take away the name and the numbers are there.
If you want to play Aiden O'Connell, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Aiden O'Connell, not as much upside as Will Levis, but probably a safer floor.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be behind in the game, passing a bunch. I think this is going to be a game that shoots. I think it goes over 46. I think it's a 50-point game.
Chuck the rock, Aiden.
Do it.
He's not as hot as the other AOC either.
And nobody's playing these players either. I can't believe Mike Evans is not. I mean, 7,200 people are kind of backing, balking and backing off of that. But I mean, who cares? 7,200. Him and Baker Mayfield, he could get 2 touchdowns.
But it's a shootout game.
Yeah, and also he needs to average 95 yards per game in the next 5 games or 4 games to get to his 1,000-point threshold. They are cognizant of this. Like, it's an NFL record. This guy is the man. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greats to ever get there. And so touchdowns are going to come with these catches. Like, it's just, you're going to throw the ball eventually, and Mike Evans is going to be in the end zone. Like, this is how it goes. He's in my touchdown props this week, so put him in your lineup. He is my guy.
Guess what? Baker Mayfield loves Mike Evans, and Mike Evans loves Baker Mayfield.
They spent Thanksgiving together. They're going to honeymoon.
And Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, knows that every single time we have single coverage onIke Evans, he's getting the ball every single time.
Like, that's the kill.
No exceptions.
Right. Like if he sees one-on-one, he goes kill, and they know that means Mike Evans is getting the fucking ball.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike Evans is also not competing with Chris Godwin for targets, which is huge.
Right. He's got Shepard, McMillan. I mean, who are the Trey Palmer? Who are these? Raheem Jarrett.
They're going to be, they're okay, but they're not going to be competing with Mike Evans.
No, he's just the leverage too. Like his size, his speed, his ability to get down.
And K. Dotton has not done anything with Mike Evans on the field this season. When Evans was out, K. Dotton feasted.
Yeah.
When Evans came back, K. Dotton went bye-bye.
Who's K? I mean, 4,400. Brocky.
There's better options.
Just pay up for 1,100 more. Brock's a great value.
Yeah, 2,100 more, but yeah. I am spending
beer number 4. I'm not gonna lie. When I'm drinking with my wife, she made me.
He's not even a little bit buzzed. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir,
I like you,
officer. Sir, I like you. You're a good guy. Yeah.
Ossifer, I swear, this is only my 4th cerveza.
This is how I've been doing it my whole life, officer. Okay, next game. Interestingly enough, people are not playing this game. I think they should be. The Jets, I think they packed it in. Pack it up, pack it in. Let us begin. The vacations have started. I think Aaron Rodgers is washed. I like Miami as a defense in this game. I like the -6. I think that New York is a shambles, and I think there's some value over here with some of the players, maybe Jonnu and HN particularly. Where are you landing in this game? All undervalued, not a lot of play in this game. 12% is the most rostership. That's kind of good.
They're shutting down Breece Hall, and so, the Jets are dead. But Braylon Allen is an intriguing guy at 5K. He's going to get lots of chalk, I think more than 10% by the time we lock. Braylon Allen is one guy, but I have my eye on the other running back. You scroll down. Go to running back and scroll down on this game because he's not even on that first page. You know who I'm talking about? Isaiah Davis, South Dakota State Jackrabbit, Isaiah Davis. There's your dark horse of the week. 4K flat, min-priced. Miami's defense is a run funnel. They're great pass defense. They get after the quarterback. They're going to get after whoever's playing quarterback for the Jets, whether it's Rodgers or some other corpse out there. Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, good. I think I had Isaiah Davis graded higher than Braylon Allen coming in. And that seems crazy now with what Braylon Allen's done as a rookie. But Isaiah Davis is explosive. He scored a touchdown last week. I think he's better than people give him credit for. He's a thumper with speed. Braylon Allen's just a thumper. I think there's more versatility with Davis there. So that's who I'm playing. But like HN, of course.
Like the 4K price.
Well, Tyreek Hill, you should probably play Tyreek Hill this week because he's going to try to prove something against old Sauce. Sauce is out. DJ Reed, not his former self. This Jets secondary without Sauce Gardner is rough.
Yeah, and 7,100. I'm not seeing Tyreek Hill at that price in a long time. So you could definitely get some value stacking that Tyreek. You could game stack with Tyreek and Isaiah Davis there. That's only 7. That's 11-1. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Right, little game stack, and you think a
I don't
couple
know if
touchdowns.
I don't know if I'm including Davis in a game stack, but I definitely want to throw him in a couple lineups.
Yeah. Any tight end desire for Jonnu? They suck at running,
Yes.
and so because they don't run the football anymore, they just kind of do short little passes. And they get Jonnu in the little flat. Jalen Waddle suffered, but Jonnu's kind of elevated himself a little bit here. So
Jonnu has more targets and catches than Tyreek this year.
Yeah, that's wild. Ever since he got pulled over by the police and profiled, it's been a bad time. Not gonna.
Well, yeah,
lie.
because the police hurt his shoulder. He hasn't been the same since.
Why are they doing that? I just bothered me so much. I saw that on social media and I was like, don't react.
ACAB, and that's why. ACAB, that's why.
I mean, you know what? We just need to get more people into, just systemic understanding of how things work.
Holy chalk, Batman. uh, it sounds like what we're gonna do. What the field is expecting is the first touchdown of the first receiving touchdown of the season from Trey McBride against the Seattle defense that's super hot right now. So I don't see it. I don't see it at 6,100. I think he does have a 20-point ceiling because of the volume, but I'm not going there very often. I'll have a little bit of Trey McBride, but not a lot. I'm not going up to 20% though.
I think we talked about it before. We hinted Zach Charbonnet is the play at 4,800 in this game, and I think Seattle runs them. Honestly, I was listening to, like I said, Rich Rebarb earlier on his show.
It depends on which Cardinals team shows up.
Well, that's what they were saying. The variance is
there,
there, right? You don't know what's going to happen, and I think
they're either great and you can't beat the Cardinals at their best, but if they show up flat like half of the games this year, the Cardinals are extremely beatable.
Well, and this is what they said. Their analysis went a little bit deeper, and this is exactly right. Like, that was the first wave. Second wave is when you know they have to pass the football, you can stop them. When they're running the football, and then they can do play action, they can roll out, they can do bootlegs, they can do things that get Kyler Murray in space and get him wide open when no one's bothering him. He can either run for 20 yards or he can pass for 30 yards. That kind of like the Lamar Jackson effect, right? When he's mobile and running around, or even Pat Mahomes with Tyreek Hill. When you have a quarterback in space and a wide receiver in space, that's scary because they can either do one. It's like playing chess, right? You can go for the short gain or the longer gain, and so in these situations, I think Kyler Murray, when he's playing on 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 11 and you can stop him. You can stop him.
Easily.
But when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 5, you cannot stop those guys. And so that's what's going to happen. I think Seattle's defense is going to stop them. And so if all of their eggs are in the basket of McBride, it's so expensive to be in that basket. You can get Brock Bowers.
So conversely, what's Marvin Harrison's ownership?
Let's check it out.
Because that's an interesting one.
Yes, he's a great GPP play, by the way. He's the definition of a GPP play.
5.8%?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. 6K flat for Marvin Harrison.
That's leverage out the ass.
And, well, people aren't playing him because the Seattle corners are great. You got Devon Witherspoon. You got Reek Woolen. This is a great secondary Seattle has. Guess what? Marvin Harrison's up there in that ability level where he's running big boy X routes. And if Kyler Murray has time, if he has time and you're not behind the chains because he couldn't get James Conner going, then Marvin Harrison absolutely has 25, 30-point upside in this game,
right?
Just like DK Metcalf does. And these are high upside players. And who has been better in the last 4 weeks than Jackson Smith and Jigba? My boy, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Finally paying
off. The dude is being a dude this year. He's slashing. Geno Smith loves him to death. You know why? Because he gets open. He gets open every time. And he's so quick. We're talking about an amazing wide receiver who can play any of the 3 positions, more usable at the flank or opposite DK Metcalf at the X. Tyler Lockett's been kind of rotated out of 2 wide receiver sets. Finally, like you said, it's you love to see the talented young player with all the the hype behind Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're finally seeing it. And I think that if I was gonna stack this game, I'd probably go with Harrison and JSN and just let it go right there. Those are the two guys I absolutely want to play, as well as DK Metcalf for the upside, because you never know when he's going to go ballistic.
Yeah, I think this game. They talked about it too on the First Rebarb show. By the way, I love that show. It is a weekly show. I'm gonna mess it up. There's ceiling involved. It's like not chasing ceiling, but it's something like that. You know what I mean? So you're looking for the ceiling of these plays. So you're looking at the upside, and in this game, they can either play balls to the wall or they could play close to the vest. And last time they played close to the vest, it was a low scoring, like really on edge. Everybody was in each other's face. Like you can get any space, you get any no interest taken. And I think this game has the potential for Seattle for a bit of a shootout. And I think I like Seattle. Like I do like Seattle in this game.
So here's a stat. Guess when the last time the Cardinals allowed a touchdown at home?
Last time that Seattle played last year?
No. Arizona has not allowed a touchdown at home since September.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, they've had 3 home games since September, and they have held their opposing offense off out of the end zone all 3 of those games.
That's pretty good.
That's a little feather in the cap of a low-scoring struggle like we had in the previous meeting.
So it could just be another desert heat wave, just getting burned on.
Yeah, you never know. The next one's a shootout for sure, though.
No offense. I think this game, Buffalo's going to win this.
Lay all the points for Buffalo.
Buffalo's going to win.
Points
what? +3. I said, listen, I do my own lines before I put the DK lines up. I do this little thing in my mind.
As any good handicapper does.
I go, this game should be +8, +7. I do the whole thing, and I check it before I put it on my board. I said, this should be -8 for Buffalo. And it was +3.5 or -3.5 for Buffalo. I went, holy shit, there's so many points on this board. I might bet the farm on Buffalo. I think people are sleeping on how much Josh Allen is for real. And he's going to be in LA in Tinseltown. It's going to change the narrative. I can't believe I'm saying this about Josh fucking Allen. It's wild.
Shout out NorCal, Josh Allen. How many legendary players are from NorCal? I mean, it's bad. It's mind-boggling.
Almost like it's because
point.
You guys have been legalized for a long time. You guys are putting out the best stuff.
Yeah, we're a rare breed here.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh Allen and the Bills against a very bad Rams defense, like really, really bad. Buffalo in the snow against the Niners defense. It's better than the Rams defense. Lit them up for 38 points. It was hilarious. And this is indoors. Josh Allen indoors without the elements against a bad defense. Ironically, I think the best play that I'm going to be putting out there is a dueling banjo running back. This is a game stack with Kyron Williams, who's going to get 1 billion carries in this game. He's not explosive. He fumbles all the time. He doesn't break off any big plays. He's not efficient, but Kyron Williams touches the ball more than anybody in the league. So he's gonna get 30 touches. Try to, even as good as Buffalo is against the pass, not a good run defense. It's a run funnel for sure. Kyron Williams is the key to keeping this close for the Rams to cover that spread, even though I don't think they will. Kyron Williams is a big volume-based pick here, and James Cook is all the upside in the world and then some against the Rams. James Cook and Kyron Williams, it's expensive dueling banjos, but I am absolutely hitting it hard. Like, these two guys are going to put up a ton of points. And, of course, my guy from Boise State, Khalil Shakir.
The stacks will be had, my brother. Let's stack them and rack them.
And yes, I am crazy because they're the two most concentrated target share in the league, but I am fading both Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua this week because the Bills secondary is for real.
You know, I told Michael Cash Collins the same thing. I said, I've got Cooper Cup on my BFF's team looking for the most points, and I am saddened by the fact that I am going up against the Bills. And he said, oh, but don't, sir. Don't, Terry. There could be a late suck-out touchdown. You never know, a suck-out. So there could be. Matthew Stafford could be in a suck-out position. But honestly, I'd rather be a suck-in position with Josh Allen because that guy can catch a touchdown. He can throw a touchdown. He can birth a touchdown. He can fuck a touchdown. He is a touchdown. I think you should go all in on Josh Allen this week. I love him.
He's what the kids call a bucket.
Yeah, he just is the bee's knees, whatever that fucking shit is from back in the days. I don't know if those bees were
love that
on
guy.
their knees sucking dick. I don't know. That's weird.
He's the cat's pajamas.
He's a shit. So I love me a little Joshy. Hurrah. I do need
this game's gonna suck.
I don't think so. I'll give you a little bit of a thing. I think San Francisco sucks, right? I'm sorry, I'm stuck in the stat player pool. I think San Francisco sucks. Half their team is hurt, right? And on IR or just out in general.
More than half.
But I think this is a coming out game for
They
Caleb.
don't have a full team.
No, they don't. I think Caleb. I think Caleb's in play here at 5,600. I think him and Keenan Allen make a nice little stack against the 49ers, who they don't have a lot of the players. They're 30th in rush, or sorry, in pass rate. QB sack rate when there's no Bosa. There's no Nick Bosa in there. When your Trump loving, McLovin, sack Mac attack and. Bosa brother is not in the lineup. They are 30th. They cannot put any pressure on the quarterback. And Caleb's been running the football lately. I like this. And the concentration, too, has been around our guy Keenan Allen, only 3% rostered at 5,600. So, Keenan Allen is the truth. We know that. He did not start that off, but he's now there.
Here's why I disagree.
Here,
the Bears The Bears have one healthy running back, and it's Travis Homer. One-dimensional Caleb Williams is not good, especially when the 49ers defense is bad, but they're playing against a rookie quarterback who doesn't have a running game. And that's troublesome. So I do think that they're able to make the Bears throw the ball a bunch of times, which might end up paying off volume-wise for Caleb Williams.
That's what fantasy football's all about. That's what we found out with Jamison Williams. Winston, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that it's that game. I think this game's going to be a really terrible, unwatchable AFC East basement game. Like back in the day when the Patriots be running away the division, and you'd have the Jets and the Dolphins playing for nothing, and it'd be like 16-13. I think that's going to be this game because the Bears are injured, the Niners are injured. Isaac Guerendo is going to be super chalky. Don't play Isaac Guerendo. Don't. It's a nice shiny toy, but Guerendo is not the upside pick. Do you think he is? In fact, I think Patrick Taylor probably outscores him. And you might even see Israel Abanikanda if he's active tomorrow. He's going to be in that rotation. Izzy Abanikanda is way more explosive and has better vision and is a better receiver and breaks more tackles than Isaac Guerendo. Patrick Taylor played for the Packers last year when Aaron Jones and what's his name from Boston College, the big guy that hasn't played all year. When they were hurt last year for the Packers, Patrick Taylor looked pretty good for Green Bay. I think that Isaac Guerendo is going to be in that mix, but he's not like he started the season as their RB4. You had CMC, you had Elijah Mitchell, who hasn't played at all this year. You had Jordan Mason, who was a special teams player, got thrust into action and had set up a couple RB1 weeks for us, but now he's out. Just because Guerendo is a 49ers running back and he's the only healthy one doesn't mean he's a good play in DFS. Kittle, Keenan, I'll take a flyer on Jawan Jennings, even though Brock Purdy against this pass defense. I'm playing the Bears defense in this one.
Oh yeah,
because
2,400. You can't.
2,400 and Brock Purdy is not good without Trent Williams.
Right.
Shocker. Without the best lineman in the league, your quarterback with an unprotected blind side and none of his elite Monstar weapons is not good. It's weird, but it's true. This Bears pass defense and their pass rush is very good. That's one of my favorite DST plays is Chicago.
What about a little Cole Kmet? I think if you're hoping, praying, maybe. No. Damn it.
Yeah, maybe.
Swing and a miss, kids.
Not a
Swing
lot. I mean, he'll be
and-
in the pool, but the price is why I'll have him in the pool.
He's just so cheap at times. It's hard to get another wide receiver down there. You're thinking, maybe he sucks out a touchdown on fourth.
It's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore a quality tight end at 3,700. So I won't ignore him completely.
I mean, he's mid. He's completely
Gotta play
mid.
him.
This is the thing about it. George Kittle upside through the roof. He can get you 25 points. Cole Kmet will get you that like once in a blue moon. But I'm thinking 3,700. If I can get 12 points out of you, I'm through the moon. You know what I mean? So like he's definitely capable of that. Catches a touchdown, goes for 20 yards, and falls down. You know. So. But
well, the thing with Kmet is he's a great player. He's just in a really muddy.
they don't use him well. They use him as a blocker. Or they don't. There's just a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
He's too good. He's just like Kittle. He's too good of a blocker.
Yeah. The thing about it is, they were talking about too about how Trent Williams, when Trent Williams out, our boy Kittle does chip a little bit, but he's out 92% of the time. So don't be afraid of Kittle. Don't afraid. I think Kittle over Kmet for sure, but maybe if you're doing a little dueling banjo tight ends, you know,
you cannot afford to be afraid of Kittle. He's all they have.
No, he's got yeah. When you're talking about Jawan Jennings, you know it's gonna be big time. George Kittle,
I love Jennings.
Yeah,
Jennings is an absolute dog out there. So don't be downplaying Jennings because he's too good. The Sims are not running, so
we're screwed. So, but we're not screwed because we got some good lineups that we
built.
know
what we like. We know what we like.
We build ourselves some good lineups. So let's start here with our lineups we're playing against each other in the clash. By the way, Bo McBrayer is up on me. He won big last week. He's up 7-6. We've been back and forth the whole time, which I love. Sorry. So let's talk about your lineup here, good
put
sir.
Up some points. Did the dueling banjos with Kyron and Cook. I spent down at quarterback with Levis. I took the low-hanging fruit with Charbonnet. Took the Darnell Mooney volume pill, and I took the Calvin Ridley stack. Shout out NorCal, Brock Bowers, every damn time. Best value on the entire slate, regardless of position, Jordan Addison. Yeah, the Bears are your best points per dollar at DST. So, yeah, for me, it's just this is a straight classic cash lineup with a skinny stack. I think I kept it pretty traditional, actually. Sometimes I feel a little frisky and I go a little GPP bro on you, but that wasn't last week. Last week, the reason why this is traditional is because last week I went traditional and my lineup went ballistic.
Crazy.
And so I'm feeling like I'm in a groove. I think I scored 179 last week or something like that. Poor Scotty was probably not pleased about that.
When you score 150, you should win. I did not win.
In a cash game, you should.
Yeah, I should win.
Most of the time. If you score 150 in a cash game, you win most of the time.
I lost big time. I lost by like 30 points. Not good to feel that way at all. It makes you feel like you're inept. Anyway, I came back hard hitting.
Come at me, bro.
Well, you're not gonna like what you see here. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna be down
because you stole some of my guys.
No, never.
Brocky, you traitor.
So I did go Baker Mayfield, and I stack attacked him with Mike Evans. I have my own stack too. You got your stack, I got my stack. I went Saquon because you got to go Saquon. Zach, we did overlap with Zach. He's just so low hanging fruit. You got to have him in your lineup at this point. Keenan, I think he does show up. I think Keenan Allen's the guy in this. DJ Moore limited this week. I got Keenan. I got Darius Slayton for upside. We talked about him earlier in the show. That's why you touched on him. I was like, that makes me feel good. Brock, big cock Brock. 3,800 for my guy Pat Fryermuth. You might touch on him as well. And the Bears D. You gotta love the Bears D. So I think I got a fighter's chance here this week, particularly with Saquon.
Man, your lineup is fucking sexy, dude.
Thank you.
I'll give you the -3.5 on this week.
I like it.
That's a banger. That is a banger cash lineup. if you're playing head to heads against your friends, you should take a screen grab of this because that's a banger right there.
Just
That's
honestly
gonna win
reach out
you
on
70% of your cash games.
yeah, hit me up on the tweeters. I can go to my profile here. Scott Simpson, Nibble W
Or
numbers.
Blue Sky.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say also on a little bit of the you hit the B on me, it goes right to Blue Sky, and yeah, hit me up on Blue Sky. I'm a little bit more sexy on Blue Sky, and you're on Blue Sky as well.
And it's the only platform I have more followers than you.
Hey, you know what? You deserve every single more follower than I have. I got you here.
My Twitter followers took a little hemorrhage. I hemorrhaged 1,000 Twitter followers.
What happened?
I don't know.
I'm not on Twitter as
Probably
much
all
anymore.
all the
Who cares?
bots.
You know?
Yeah, the bots dropped like flies.
Whatever. You know what? Go follow this guy. He is a food pornographer, and I've eaten his food, and it fucks. So please, also go patron him at bigtimeflavor.co. I'm not sure if you can click it here, but if you go over to the X, you definitely can click it. So I'm going to go over to X, and I'm going to go to Chalk Blocked, and I'm going to go to Bo, and I'm going to go to the bigtimeflavor.co. Buy your stuff before Christmas gets there. Come on, man. Get your cock of the walk and all that stuff, the OG favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my
Got
favorite.
about a week left. If you order in the next week or so, I'll have it to your house by Christmas.
My favorite things. Hey, this has been great. I'm so sorry that life has been so catching up on us. But this has been perfect. I love talking football with you, and whew, man, I hope I win my most points. I hope you win in your league. I hope a bunch of stuff happens. You know what I mean? So let's put good juju out there for everybody.
Yep, likewise.
Yep. Well, please go follow everybody and go buy some stuff from Bo, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll be back next week. I got nothing on the horizon for the next couple weeks, so we'll see